Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Monday, the 10th of July. Okay, so today let's just look at the euro dollar first here. And well, Friday ended up in a bit of a reversal day. It sort of went into the almost pipped the previous highs there from last week. No, sorry, last week, the week before. Reversed, and at the moment, well, we could be on for there is a potential for it to pull back towards the weekly pivot, which is just below us, just underneath even the white 50 moving average. So there's a possibility it might happen quite quickly. From there, the picture sort of come down to the hourly, maybe a bit clearer in terms of what's going on here. So there's the where my cursor is where the weekly pivot is. May get hit quite, as I say, quite early, but if it's not, it becomes a bit of a target early part of the week, maybe today still, but maybe later. We'll see how it just sort of pans out from the earlier part of the morning. Now, so in terms of direction at the moment, it's a bit lacking in anything on this hourly basis. It's just chopping a bit sideways. As I say, probability is we could get that pivot hit quite early on, as it's so close to it. After that, well, yesterday's lows, Friday's lows, not far below it, so that would give another test area, which if that finds support, we could see a bounce up. Now, any solid movement, well, I'd be looking to the upside. I'd be looking up for daily R1 really, maybe Friday's highs there. But it's after non-farm payrolls, we often see a bit of a quieter day, so I'm not expecting too much today. There's absolutely nothing out on my news service at the moment, so I'm just actually switching to the weekly view to make sure it's actually working. Yep, there's nothing, no news today at all. So it's a no news day, which we're left down to the politics. Okay, so pound dollar. Well, this has actually shown a bit of a lower high. It's already well sitting there on its daily 21. It actually bounced off a little bit, and we're seeing a little bounce now. The difference here is the weekly pivot's just above us, and there's a good probability of this being hit quite early on, so expecting that to maybe caught, and that would be an early sort of target sort of area. It's just below its daily pivot at the moment, but as we watch today, then very simple. If it keeps on pushing up here, breaks that 34, well, the weekly pivot, the 50 MA, certainly look on. Any break of this sort of level here, this trend line, I'd be looking back for the downside. Friday's lows may be the S1, so very simple in terms of the pound there. Dollar yen. Dollar yen is continuing at the moment to shove up. Now it's broken both its trend lines here, which is suggesting a true change of trend here, but how far further it will push is another matter. But it's now getting close to these other prior highs here, and this was quite a pivotal area around where this level before, around about 114.40, sort of around that sort of area. There was some resistance, whether, I mean, it won't necessarily be spot on, be worth looking what else is above us there. And well, R1 pushing up much further on there. At the moment, it's to say seems to be pushing up that way. There is minute divergence on this hourly basis. It has got a daily and weekly pivots untouched below, so we'll see how this runs. And it's certainly got the possibility of a rollover at some point here, but from a divergence, but it's so close, it's already running to Friday's highs. To say it's the slight divergence there. Well, if it continues pushing up where it is, daily R1 would be well and truly in range, but it's really trying to chase this move, and I'd rather be, if I was looking for the long side, be buying into any retracements. Now, if you're looking to play the daily pivot, weekly pivot, there's plenty of room to wait until it breaks those 21s. So that would nice trend line, almost acting as a trend line below price at the moment. Okay, Aussie dollar. Aussie dollar, well, Friday ended up relatively bullish, but still sort of chopping along a relatively tight range, which you can see on this 4 hourly. We spent the last sort of few days of last week in range bound. It has got the weekly pivot above, so that any sort of movements, any reversals to the upside here, we've already hit the daily pivot. I mean, it's clear on this hourly chart. It may just sort of push up towards that Friday's highs there and the weekly pivot there. So it's got the potential for that. Below, if it starts selling off, well, it's been dancing around this monthly pivot all the time. Maybe if it starts pushing through the 50 MA, it clears out the moving averages of support below it, and then you're looking purely towards the S1 and Friday's lows. Okay, and finally, Canadian dollar. There was some relatively good Canadian data. The US data wasn't particularly great, and it fully benefited from this. Now we have got the weekly pivot above us, so that's a possibility for the upside there. Maybe we'll get a bit bigger move on any retracement here, but it may be that we just sort of end up having the opportunity with the weekly and daily pivots there to be selling into those at some point, potentially anyway. In terms of trading back towards them, it's quite tight. They're pretty close, but that would be a post 8 o'clock move. If the price just sells, well, it maybe it just does a trend break, but I'd be wary of this on a Monday morning, particularly. It just doesn't just break that trend and come back, catch the lows rather, and then reverse. So at the moment, my preference is to get those pivots covered. So I would be looking for a position in that direction in the short term, and it's a short intraday term trade. The bigger trend still looks pretty bearish at the moment, but we'll see how that changes. Right, that's it for me. News-wise today, there isn't any. We've had non-farm payrolls on Friday. It is often a quiet day, so we just need to set our expectations accordingly. Have a great day. Bye for now.